Hey, I'm Mindy Kinnis from Lucra.com. Those of you that know me know that I absolutely love and am passionate about books and about reading. So I thought, why not talk about some of the things that I am reading? So each week I will be sharing with you about a particular book. And to introduce this week's book, I want to jump on the soapbox of reading fiction. I know certain people out there who are like, I don't read anything other than nonfiction. I only read business books or I only read biographies. And I'm telling you, you're actually missing out on such a great creative experience for your brain. You can, by entering into fictional worlds. Now, of course, sometimes in a fiction book, it is based on our actual world, but sometimes it's a fantastical world. But by entering into different characters' lives and characters' experiences, sometimes greater truths can be told through fiction as opposed to nonfiction. Now, that doesn't make any sense, but here's an example of what I mean. There is a writer who wanted to talk about and write about young women getting pregnant, like teen pregnancies. And so she interviewed all of these people and she was going to write a nonfiction book about that. But what she found based on her interviews was that none of them were actually sharing about the potential loneliness that they experienced or the heavy emotion or the depression that sometimes can happen in that situation. And she wanted to make it as true to life as possible. So she ended up writing a fictionalized account of the research that she had done. And she believes that that was a deeper truth, a better telling of the entire truth than what she would have been able to write in a nonfiction book. So this week's book is a fiction book. It is a novel. It is by Ken Follett. It's called The Pillars of the Earth. Now, the reason I chose to read this book, lots of people had read it in high school or somewhere along the way. It was a very popular book. For whatever reason, I had never read it. And it came up as available in my library. And I was like, oh, I've never read that one. I've obviously heard so much about it. So why don't I read it? The Pillars of the Earth. It was first of all, it's a long book. So if you're not into that, might not be the best one for you, but it's a great story in that the characters are so dynamic. There are characters that you just adore, and there are characters that are so vile and horrible that you just loathe them. And you're like, I wish they would just die because they're so awful. Those things make up a great story. And essentially, it's the story of building cathedrals. It's about different people's dreams along the way and like what they would like to create, how they live their lives, how they get through struggle. And the thing that I took from it probably the most is that there are certain characters in that book that just continue to have this dream and have this vision of what it is that they want for their life or what they want to create. For some of them, it is literally building a cathedral. For others, it's having love and a family, whatever their vision is. And then they go through struggle after struggle after struggle, but they never give up on that vision. They hold to it, they cling to it, they continue to get back up after they've been pushed down by whatever experience in life. And I thought, this is the story of every entrepreneur. Every one of us has some vision, some dream, some idea of what we want to create for our lives and for ourselves, in addition to the world at large. Like, what are we doing for the greater community? And life happens, as you all know. There will be struggles, there will be frustrations, there will be times where you will get pushed down. But these people in the book were such a great example of just getting back up and not necessarily being happy about it, but continuing to pursue that dream. And I think for all of us entrepreneurs, it is a great reminder to just keep going. So if that sounds interesting to you, check out The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I would give it probably 4 out of 5 stars. It was pretty enjoyable. Like I said, it was a little bit long, but you can get through it pretty quickly because you want to find out what is going to happen. It is part of a series, so you can continue on in that series of Pillars of the Earth if you're so inclined. I'm Mindy Kinnis. Thanks so much for watching.